Better late than never. Let's talk about everything I picked up in the month of November. Let's go. What is up, everybody? I am Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. Yes, another month of physical media collecting has passed, so let's take a look at every single item I picked up in my physical media collection, or at least my movie collection, movie physical media collection. Because if you don't know, Black Friday was a bit of a bust when it comes to Canadian deals. Mostly the deals that were here were mainly for video games, so I was actually able to buy a brand new PS5 and like 14, 15 video games, like physical video games, because not only do I love movies and physical media, I also love having a physical copy of the actual video game in my collection, just to look at, to know that I own it, to know that the PlayStation Store won't remove it, or when they add a new freaking PlayStation Plus membership, whatever, they remove all your downloaded games. Who knows what they would do? And I got a disc version, so thankfully these games are mine. Anyways, you don't care about video games. We care about movies here on the Mockbuster YouTube channel. So again, let's get started. The only DVD pickup of the month was from a thrifting video I made on the last day of November. So that's why this video is coming a bit late, because I wanted to upload that thrifting video and then do this video after. Because if you saw new titles that I didn't show, because everything I pick up movie-wise, I always show you guys, because you guys are my friends, right? You guys are my best friends. So I want to show you. So yeah, that's why I waited so long. So yeah, I got this DVD limited edition set of 7. And I really just love these DVD sets because the artistic value in it, because you pull it out and it's the Notebook, right? And then you open it up, there's some scratchings and all that kind of stuff, and you open it here, there's more just artwork and stuff like that. And if they made this for a modern day format, it would have been expensive as fuck. I don't know how much this would have cost at retail, but I doubt it would have been much more. But also the second main reason why I picked it up, not only because it looked really cool, was because it comes with a supplements disc, which I can guarantee you a lot of bonus features when it comes to certain IPs or certain properties. If there's behind the scenes footage on the filmmaker or the guy who recorded it, he has a marketing company, and if they went under or if they didn't license their use of whatever, those bonus features could get erased or not erased, but will not be used in another format. So let's say specifically Lord of the Rings, you know, a lot of filming of behind the scenes stuff is not shown in these new 4K sets or even in the Blu-ray sets. You'd have to buy the big chunkin' DVD set to get all the, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours of bonus features. So that's a bit of an annoyance, but it does look cool and it looks nice sitting on my shelf. So same with this, I just had to pick up 7 on DVD, and it was only like $3, so I didn't really mind that. And then, so that was the only DVD pickup. And this is the only Blu-ray Steelbook I got. This was on the Black Friday sale at The Beat Goes On. This was Easy Rider on Blu-ray, the Steelbook. I know there's a Criterion Blu-ray of this. My friend really enjoys this movie, so I want to give it a chance. Again, on Steelbook. And it was 30% off, I believe $14. So I think it was like $5. So whenever I can find a $5 Blu-ray Steelbook, I have to pick it up. Okay, and then the only Criterion pickup of the month was Federico Fellini's Roma. I mainly picked it up because, again, it was at The Beat Goes On 30% off sale. I think it was like $19 before tax or $20 before tax. So whenever I find a Criterion for under that much, I have to pick it up, no matter the movie. And I saw the letterbox ratings and the IMDb, and it seems pretty cool. I like the artwork on this. I have no idea what to expect from this release, but it looks pretty cool, so I'll give it a chance, give it an open mind. And then we got some thrift pickups here. If you saw my last video, you probably already know what's expecting. I got The Illusionist. Again, I don't really know much about this movie. A lot of people compare it to The Prestige, so I'll give it a chance. I like The Prestige. Next is one of the most underrated superhero movies in my opinion, and that is Superman Returns. Again, I haven't seen this though in a long time, but from my memory, I remember really enjoying this movie, specifically really enjoying the portrayal of Lex Luthor from Kevin Spacey. He was an extremely, really theatrical, kind of really cool, menacing Lex Luthor, in which the new Lex Luthor doesn't really portray. So I really enjoyed Superman Returns. Maybe we'll get a 4K of it. I highly doubt it because, again, Kevin Spacey and Bryan Singer too, the double whammy. Alright, and another Beat Goes On sale was Gone Girl. This is one of the only David Fincher films I haven't seen yet, so I've been meaning to check this out. I love me some Ben Affleck. So I just think the subject material is very unsettling, but obviously anything David Fincher really touches is something kind of disturbing or something kind of he doesn't really make heartwarming films, so I guess what would I expect? But Gone Girl, it's been on my watch list for the longest time, and it's a 2018 Blu-ray, so I'm guessing this will look very nice. Next is another thrift pickup I got, and that was Memoirs of a Geisha. I really don't know much about this film, but it stars Michelle Yeoh in it. Michelle Yeoh is in it, and the girl from Rush Hour 2, I believe. So I'm just really excited to get into this. A 2007 Blu-ray I got for $3. This was back when they were trying to copy the Spider-Man font, so that's really cool. And it has all these like throwback inserts of like, do you own a 1080p TV? It's like, oh no, I don't. I don't think I owned a 1080p TV until I was like in late high school. It's crazy. And then next, another thrift pickup, and that is Jack Reacher on Blu-ray. A movie that I really don't know much about, but for $3 I'll pick it up. You know, I've heard it talked about in the echo chamber of action movies. So if this is like a fun action movie, I can just turn my brain off and just watch some cool American action with people punching each other in the face, shooting guns and stuff like that, vaulting over, I don't know, like railings or something. Then it's worth the pickup. And then we got some more thrifting pickups. I thrifted a lot of the stand Blu-rays I kind of thrifted, and that was Paddington 1 and 2. I really don't know much about these films, but I watched the Sardonicast podcast, and they had some pretty high regards for these films, so I thought I'd give it a try for, what, $2 a pop? I can't go wrong with that. And then the last Blu-ray pickup was the double feature of Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Dundee 2. I haven't really seen these movies. I know This Is Enough has been like a meme on the internet for like the longest time. So to get two separate movies for $5, that's pretty good. $2.50 on Blu-ray, brand new, sealed with a newer-ish transfer, 2014. Okay, that's not really new, but you know, it's new-ish. It's not like 2006 or something. So those are the Blu-ray pickups. Let's get into the 4K pickups. Starting off with the first initial not Black Friday. When I went to Walmart on the 1st of November, on the new release section at Walmart, they had these VVS films for $10 a pop in 4K. So $10 4Ks. So I had to, and that's my highest viewed Black Friday video. So I got a bunch of 4Ks for $10. Some of these are upgrades, and some of these I haven't owned yet. Starting off with is Liam Neeson in The Commuter. I haven't seen this. I actually bought this at Walmart for $5 in those $5 bins. It's been sitting in there for the longest time, so I thought, hey, you know what, I'll pull the trigger on it. And then a few months later, the 4K gets discounted. So the Commuter 4K, my dad said it really harkens back to those like early 2000s, just like action films that is like really derived of any plot. It's a very dry film, but some decent action, some decent performances. So I'll give it a chance for $10. 4K, I can't really pass that up. I'm just a 4K whore, you know. And then the next pickup was Rambo: Last Blood, the movie I actually really did enjoy. I know a lot of people really didn't like this movie because of the subject material is a bit iffy, but I just really enjoyed the fact that the character of Rambo is able to be more less brooding and less kind of, he's still a badass in this, but like he's able to be more his guard down, you know. Stallone cries in this again, you know, because I think he cries in the first movie, but then after that he's kind of like this hard-shelled person. But here he has like a daughter, like he has something to lose, as opposed to the first 4 films where he kind of, you know, sometimes he has a girlfriend here or there, but they kind of die off really quickly. But for the most part, he has actually something to die for, and he has something to lose. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Of Rambo: Last Blood, and I heard the 4K was pretty good. Now, this isn't the extended cut, I don't believe. I know there is an extended cut on Amazon Prime Video, but I'm just excited to add this to the collection. Again, a $10 4K Blu-ray with the slip. You can't really go wrong with that. And this is also an upgrade, because I actually bought it when it first came out on Blu-ray. So, boom. I watched the Blu-ray, though. I think I did a quickie review of it. If you look at my really old videos from like a year and a half ago, I actually reviewed this in depth. So Rambo: Last Blood. And now there was a bunch of $10 4Ks for that VVS film sale thing or whatever, starting off with The Hitman's Bodyguard. I remember watching this movie a bit when I used to work at the movie theater. It seemed pretty cool, you know, two charismatic lead stars in a movie. They have really good chemistry, and, you know, the action's whatever, but I think the main squeeze, the main juice of this film is the performances and just the comedy performances of Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds. But I don't really have much of an opinion on this. I really don't know much about it, but I see that Gary Oldman is in there, so I am excited to rediscover it for $10 on 4K Blu-ray. And then I also had to get, because it was also right next to it, was The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which is crazy because I remember this came out last year and it's on 4K for $10. Clearance. These are clearanced films. This is not like a sale or something, but these are being clearanced for some reason. I don't know why. VVS Films, I guess they're changing distribution on the physical media maybe or something like that. So they wanted to get rid of their overhauling stock. Because I remember this was like $25 for the longest time. Then all of a sudden I see it in the new release section for $10, and I was like, oh wow, I know this is a bad movie, but I'll give it a chance. And then next is I recently just purchased the first two Hellboy films, and I didn't really even know that they remade it apparently, but they did. I heard it wasn't good, but I heard some of the monster battles were pretty good, so for $10 on 4K Blu-ray I had to pick it up with the slip too. So it's an embossed slip too, so that's a nice little cherry on the top of the ice cream. But yeah, Hellboy Give Evil Hell on 4K Blu-ray for $10. Very nice. And then the last VVS $10 film I got was Angel Has Fallen. I remember reading really poor things about the first, I think it was Olympus Has Fallen, on the 4K Blu-ray side, because I remember I watched the movie in theaters and actually really enjoyed it, because I know they made not Black Hawk Down, but a White House Down, which is like a rip-off of, it's basically Olympus Has Fallen, but with Channing Tatum. And I didn't really like that movie, and I preferred Olympus Has Fallen. And then when I heard really poor things about the 4K, I kind of felt really bad, because I was going to get the whole, I think there's a whole trilogy set or whatever. But I never wanted to buy that because I heard it was a waste of money. But I heard Angel Has Fallen was a decent 4K, so I decided to pick it up again. $10 with the slip on 4K. Can't really go wrong with that. Alright, now as I stated previously, the only store that was having Black Friday sales, really Black Friday sales, like an actual really good sale, was The Beat Goes On. So I showed you the Blu-rays I got. Now let's get into the 4Ks I got. Starting off with one of my Grail items. Now this isn't out of print and this isn't rare to come by, but it's always sitting at the plus $150 range, $180 sometimes. And I've always wanted to pick this up. You know, it comes with 8 4Ks, which I can understand, but it's just, I've always wanted to get a good deal on it. And the first location I had it had the set, the full set with the Blu-rays and whatever, but, you know, when they give the added Blu-rays, they kind of hike the price up so where it's not really that much worth it. But I found the set with just the 4Ks, and I think I got it for $50, and that was $50 before tax. I think it was like 65, whatever. And that was the Harry Potter 8-film 4K collection. This was a great deal. I think it was under $10 a 4K if you round up to that. And I actually started collecting some of the 4Ks. Like I have the first two on 4K. I bought these for $20 a pop. So I basically kind of wasted money here. But these come with bonus features and whatever. But I do own the actually do own the DVD sets that come with like a bunch of special features. So I might actually sell these. Harry Potter 8-film collection for $60 basically, and it comes with all the 4Ks. So I'm really excited to get into this. I mainly also wanted to, I've been really itching a rewatch on the Harry Potter series, because these are my, besides the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, these were my childhood films that I loved watching, and I basically grew up with them, because the first movie came out when I was like, what, 3 years old? And the last one came out when I was like 12 or 13 or something like that. So just the evolution of Harry Potter, growing up with him, watching all the VHS tapes, owning them. I own them basically on every single version of physical media. I have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. So I thought it was time to upgrade to 4K, and for a really good price, because The Beat Goes On was having a 30% off sale, and then basically they usually have discounted prices in general. So if you add an extra 30% off, it actually comes to a really good deal. So yeah, Harry Potter 8-film collection for I think $60. I'm not too sure, but I know it was under $80. So it's basically under $10 a film. So yeah, boom. And then the next film I got from The Beat Goes On was Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now Amazon was having a sale for the 3-pack of Ghostbusters 1, 2, and Afterlife, but I already had 1 and 2, so I was really looking for a more of a deal on the fourth movie, because I guess Ghostbusters 2016 is the third movie basically. But I've been meaning to watch this movie because I heard really good things about it, and I think I got this for $14, which is, you know, not $10 good, but it's still $14. It's still a really good discount. It's like at least what, $10 cheaper than retail, so. Or even more, because I remember seeing it at Walmart for like $30. So for $14, that's like more than half off. So Ghostbusters Afterlife, I heard really good things about it. I heard it's a coming of age story. I heard Paul Rudd is in it. I heard, was his name Finn Wolfhard or whatever? Yeah, Finn Wolfhard is in it, and I'm just excited. Jason Reitman is in it. I heard basically Ivan Reitman basically directed it, with Jason kind of being right next to him. R.I.P. Ivan Reitman, but I just want to rewatch this. I might cry, knowing that Ivan Reitman passed away, and I think there's a bunch of cameos with the older Ghostbusters, so I might cry when watching this movie, so I'll watch this a bit later, okay? So I don't want to emotionally drain myself. And then next is Pacific Rim Uprising. I got this for $9 on 4K Blu-ray. This was a really good deal because, I don't know, I heard really shitty things about it. I don't know why I said that, but for $9 a 4K Blu-ray, you can't really pass up. I heard really bad things about this movie, but it came with the slipcover. And I'm guessing that the 4K will look really good because the first Pacific Rim 4K is one of my favorite 4Ks of all time. When it comes to HDR, just the color vibrancy, and when things pop, it really pops. So I will give this a chance. I don't know if it'll have the same color palette or whatever, but maybe they'll have some redeeming kaiju battles, because I know a lot of people shit on Godzilla vs. Kong, but it had some really redeeming and satisfying big monster battles. So hopefully, I love me some kaiju vs. mech, so hopefully that will redeem it. And I love me some Jonathan Boyega. And I know this flopped really hard at the movie theater because it really wasn't able to get that foreign demographic because of certain reasons. But you know, an embossed slipcover 4K Blu-ray of Pacific Rim Uprising for $9. I couldn't really pass that up. It's a pretty decent deal. Even if it was a shit movie, I have the first movie, so I have to have the second movie. So, anyways, well, I didn't have to, but I guess in my brain. And then another $10 4K Blu-ray was Patriots Day. I really don't know much about this movie. I know that Mark Wahlberg plays a cop, obviously, and it takes place on the day of the Boston bombings and the whole investigation behind that kind of thing. So I am intrigued, and when I looked at the IMDb ratings and Letterboxd and Metacritic, they were all generally pretty positive. So for $9 or $10 a 4K Blu-ray, can't really pass that up. And Mark Wahlberg, the Boston bombing. That was a pretty poor joke. Anyways, a movie I've been really meaning to check out that I heard the 4K was actually really good, and that is Mortal Kombat with the slipcover for I think I got it for $10 too. So this came out last year, and I was really meaning to watch it because I saw the trailer and that looked really badass. But again, it kind of deviates to some random character that no one really cares about. But for $10 a 4K. I couldn't, or 10 or 14, I kind of get them mixed up. But I didn't get, there was no 4K that wasn't a set that was more than $15 or on the sale. But yeah, so Mortal Kombat on 4K Blu-ray, 30% off, can't go wrong with that. Then the next movie I actually did own this prior, but I sold it to get something else. But then when I saw this was only for like $14, I had to re-pick it up. And I know this is a really good movie and the picture quality is really good, and that is The Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad that came out last year. I've been meaning to re-watch it because I heard really good things about Pacemaker, the TV show Pacemaker. So I've been meaning to give this a re-watch, and I kind of got sad that I sold it because I thought this would be just a one-and-done movie because I enjoyed it. But thinking about it now, I was like, wow. I remember really being hyped for the first Suicide Squad movie before it came out and how much of a shit show that was. So I think I was really tainted on that. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, it's a good movie. But thinking back on, you know, what it was and the really cool action, the character development and all that stuff, and the really good humor, I was like, you know what, I want to give it a rewatch. So I bought it for $14 with the slip cover, so can't go wrong with that. It was the Lion King 4K Blu-ray. I heard the 4K was really good on this, so I'm excited to give this a chance. I saw the 4K transfer on Disney Plus, and that looked actually really good too. So I am excited to get into this. I rediscovered this movie as an adult, and I really enjoy this movie. Whether you want to call this a ripoff of Hamlet or a kid's version of The Northman, I'm just it's whatever. But yeah, Lion King on 4K Blu-ray, one of my favorite animated films of all time. I just absolutely love this. Watching this as an adult, it really still stands up. And then my favorite movie as a kid growing up was Aladdin, because it was kind of the first ever Western representation of like my people, I guess. Even though I guess this is Arabian Nights, Arabia, but it has Indian rugs and that kind of stuff. So it's on the kind of on the fence. I really don't remember much about this movie because I'd watch this every day, but like I barely remember it because I haven't seen it in such a long time. I've been watching so many other films that it kind of gets lost in the back compartment of the brain. Like it's been an easy 15 years since I've last seen this movie. But I heard, again, the 4K was really good, so I had to give this a rewatch. It had the slipcover, and these Disney animated 4K slipcovers look really nice. They have that kind of holographic feel to it, and it just feels premium, and it looks nice, and it doesn't have Aladdin and Aladdin, because it's a name, right? So you wouldn't be able to have it in French. Which is also a cool thing for this one. Is this the American version? Because if you see on the spine, there's no Lion King and then Lion, whatever king is in French. But yeah, the Lion King and Aladdin on 4K Blu-ray, some of the Disney classics. And then I also was able to pick up a bunch of non-sale items, either new release or films that I've been meaning to check out. Starting off with a lot of Kino Lorber stuff. Clint Eastwood in Escape from Alcatraz. This is a Don Siegel film that I haven't seen yet. I heard really good things about it. My dad loves this film. And it was actually on my watch list. I was about to watch it on Netflix, but then I remembered that Kino Lorber was releasing a 4K that month, so I was like, you know what? I'll hold off and get the 4K. I already know I'm going to love this movie because I saw a bit of it. I remember watching a bit of it like as a kid with my dad, and I remember really enjoying that. And he really likes this movie, so I'm just excited to get into this. Hey, Kino Lorber, can we please get a Dirty Harry set on 4K? That'd be really cool. And then I got the other Clint Eastwood release because for some reason they were doing a bunch of, it was like Stanley Kubrick stuff, and then after that it was like Clint Eastwood stuff, and that is High Plains Drifter. And you can't really go wrong with Clint Eastwood in 4K Blu-ray, and it's a Kino Lorber, so every Kino Lorber, or at least for the majority of Kino Lorbers, I just had to pick up something. That some stuff I didn't pick up was like Indecent Proposal, because I haven't seen that movie, and then looking at the genre, it's like erotic thriller. That doesn't really sound too interesting in my opinion, or like in my taste. I really don't really care for kind of those kind of movies. And then the other Kino Lorber stuff I got was, I finally decided to pick up Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now I know this was on sale recently, but this was on my watch list for the longest time. I want to get this in October, and then I remembered that when I ordered a few Kino Lorbers from that website, a couple of one of them didn't come with a slipcover, and I really wanted to secure this with the slipcover, mainly because this is like one of my favorite horror remakes, and I just love this movie and I actually prefer it over the original. So I really wanted to secure it with the slipcover. What else can I say about Invasion of the Body Snatchers? It is a fantastic movie. Donald, a huge cast, and I'm just excited to finally have it on 4K Blu-ray with the slip. And then the other 4K pickups were The Score on 4K. I had to pick this up. This was one of my favorite pickups of the month, mainly because I was not expecting this to get a 4K. This is like a really underrated movie. Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, Angela Bassett, and Marlon Brando. It takes place in Canada, so I just absolutely love this movie. And it's basically about Robert De Niro owning a jazz club. He's a former heistman, former thief, jewel thief, history thief, whatever. He steals like stuff and resells it. I just absolutely love this film. I watched it for the first time like last year. I really enjoyed this film, and I'm just really glad that I finally got the 4K Blu-ray, because I would have never expected it. And it has an HDR Dolby Vision remaster by Paramount and approved by the cinematographer himself, so that is very, very extremely enticing. And then the other pickup I got was The Usual Suspects on 4K Blu-ray. I have this actually on standard Blu-ray, but I was kind of halfway through, I got a buzz on my phone, and it's that Kino Lorber will be releasing this on 4K, so I thought, you know what, I'll hold up on it and finish it with the 4K, so I had to get the 4K Blu-ray. And it was also Dolby Vision HDR transfer, 4K scan of the original camera negative, color graded and improved by cinematographer Newton Thomas Siegel. I'm really excited that this came out with the 4K, and I can't wait to watch it. And then the next Kino Lorber pickup, or the last Kino Lorber pickup, was Hannibal on 4K Blu-ray. I do own actually, Silence of the Lambs on 4K, and Kino Lorber past couple months announced that they'll be releasing Red Dragon on 4K, so I had to pick up Hannibal. But every time I see it, it's always like $50, $60 with a slipcover. So when my friend Alex over at Cinema Inspired was like, "Hey, do you want any of these films?" and I saw that this was like on the stack, I was like, "Hey man, please, I'll take this off your hands." And we sell it on a really good price, and I was able to get it for way less than what it retails for. So thank you, my boy Alex. And yeah, so Hannibal on 4K Blu-ray. Now, can we please get Red Dragon whenever that comes out? I'm excited for that. And then these are some of the non-Kino stuff that I got on 4K. Starting off with the Evil Dead 1 and 2 on 4K. I really loved Evil Dead 1, and I really didn't like Evil Dead 2 when I first watched it because I was kind of like, oh, I want more horror. But now understanding that it's kind of like the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 syndrome, where it's like you don't really want to make the same movie twice, and you just want to change it up. Even though technically Evil Dead 2 is basically a rehash of Evil Dead 1, but with a different thematic tone, different kind of comedic and all that kind of stuff, but different type of writing. But, you know, I watched Dead Alive on October, and it really opened my mind to horror comedy. So I'm going to rewatch Evil Dead 2 with the open pair of goggles, or open pair of eyes. And yeah, but I heard really meddling things about the 4K transfers. Like, I heard they're decent. It's just that they kind of fucked around with, they kind of George Lucas'd the films. But, you know, for 30, I think I got it for $32. It's pretty good, especially because this is imported. These never got released in America, so beggars can't be choosers. And it came with a slip cover, so I thought I might as well pick it up. And then because I had the first two, I had to pick up Army of Darkness on 4K Blu-ray. Now, I know that this is mainly a comedy film, so I will be going into it with open eyes. I did see the slipcover version everywhere, but the main reason why I decided to get the steelbook version, because I really like the theatrical poster for Army of Darkness, is also because this was only like $4 more than the actual slipcover version. So I'm like, I have to pick it up. If it's only $4 more, and the steelbook looks absolutely fantastic. This looks amazing, so I just had to pick it up. And then speaking of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, my first ever Vinegar Syndrome pickup, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Easily the best packaging, because you get this standard redone imagery for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with the boy Dennis Hopper dual akimbo chainsaw, but then when you open it up, you get the theatrical poster, the Breakfast Club kind of parody of it, and then this is all embossed too. And this is really cool. And then when you take it out, it's the original cover again. I don't know if this is, what's it called? Reversible. I don't think so, but it'd be cool if it was. But yeah, this is just, the packaging looks absolutely fantastic. And this recently went on sale, but that was not for this. This is the limited edition version with all the slipcover and the hard box. They're selling the, just the normal edition without all the slipcovers and stuff like that for $38, and I paid like $55 for this, which is a bit of a bummer, but I'm glad that I get all this packaging with it, so it makes it feel more premium, more nice, especially because this is definitely the best packaging I've gotten of the year, maybe even ever. Last but not least, we got Reservoir Dogs on 4K. I decided to pick this up because I was kind of on the fence of it, because I remember people were shitting on Inglourious Basterds 4K, and then people were like, actually, it's not that bad. So I'm like, what the fuck? Everyone just says, yeah, it's actually not that bad. And then, so I was like, fuck it, I'll decide to get this. And then a few reviews came out, and it was actually, hey, it's pretty good. So I am excited to get into this. I actually haven't watched this yet. I own the 15th anniversary of it, and on Blu-ray, and it was on clearance for the longest time at the BMV. But I decided to finally snag it on 4K with the slip. They didn't have the steelbook, but that'd probably be like hella expensive, because this was $39 before tax. So I was like, holy shit. I got this from Cinema One, so that cost could also be the problem. But, you know, I just had to pick up Reservoir Dogs. I heard really good things about the 4K transfer, and I heard really good things. This is the movie that launched, absolutely cannonballed Quentin Tarantino into just the metaverse, the film verse, making him a legend out of the gate. I think this was is this his first film? Or is one of his first films? I'm not too sure. I'm not the biggest Quentin Tarantino fan, but you know, this has a huge cast: Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Chris Penn, Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Tierney, and Michael Madsen. You can't go wrong with that cast. The 4K is really cool, and the slipcover is really cool. So I'm more than ecstatic to watch Reservoir Dogs for the first time in 4K. Alright, so those are the pickups of the month. Let me know down below what was your favorite pickup of the month. For me, I'd have to say is this Texas Chainsaw Massacre Vinegar Syndrome set. And I heard the 4K looks pretty cool. I don't know if I want to get the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I heard, like, you know, it was well, I didn't hear, I've seen it. It was filmed on really poor quality film. I know there's a 4K restoration out there somewhere. I know there's a German release and there's a Blu-ray release of the 4K scan. But I just don't know how well that would look because I have the Steelbook 4K, Steelbook Blu-ray that I got for like $20, and that looked pretty good. So I don't know if it's worth it, but I'm glad that I picked up Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 on 4K. For the boy Dennis Hopper, for Bill Moseley, you can't really go wrong with that. Some chop top goodness. So yeah, those are the pickups of the month. Thank you so much for watching this long-winded video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. Again, please have yourself a good day, night, evening, afternoon, morning. Whenever you're watching this, please stay safe and God bless. Peace, cheers, and long live physical media. See you guys.